The global reset. An age swallowed by the abyss. Roughly 13 millennia ago, Earth was poised for an awakening. Gargantuan creatures like the mammoths still walked the globe. The world's seas had receded dramatically, exposing vast areas of the continental shelves where ancestral communities flourished. Humankind anticipated a golden age, a warm liberation from the extended glacial epoch. Instead, that hope was violently crushed. Without any warning, the planetary climate system suffered a shocking breakdown. Global air temperatures in the northern territories instantly crashed by an astonishing 15 degrees Celsius. Glacial masses that had been shrinking began a ferocious push forward. The planet's weather entered a state of utter pandemonium. Relentless, brutal winters supplanted the mild seasons. This abrupt, thousand-year worldwide disturbance is labeled the Younger Dryas event. For anyone enduring it, the experience would have been indistinguishable from total obliteration. What initiated this terrifying, rapid climatic reversal? Scientists propose two profoundly distinct, yet equally devastating, hypotheses. Hypothesis A: the meltwater deluge. The immense North American ice sheets had created colossal freshwater pools, literal ticking hydro bombs, such as the ancient Lake Agassiz. The barrier containing these immense bodies of water gave way. An unbelievable quantity of thawed water surged unrestrained into the North Atlantic. This sudden gush of light, cold water effectively smothered the critical Atlantic heat transfer system. The thermal engine stalled, instantaneously condemning Europe and the North to a deep, prolonged freeze. Hypothesis B: cosmic impact event. Strong evidence suggests that around 12,800 years ago, a stream of fragmented space rocks may have slammed into the ice caps. Advocates of the extraterrestrial collision model point to irrefutable physical remnants: a thin, distinctive, carbon-rich geological boundary uncovered across dozens of global sites. This residue contains exotic materials: nanoscale diamonds, microscopic melted spheres, charcoal fragments, and an abnormally high concentration of platinum, all definitive signatures of an outside impact. This singular collision could have simultaneously ignited massive wildfires, propelled debris into the atmosphere, and triggered intense cooling and subsequent megafloods. Whether the disaster originated from collapsing ice or falling celestial objects, the outcome was a definitive, all-encompassing global annihilation. The water's scars. A global echo. The resulting inundations were truly cataclysmic. In North America, the remnants of glacial torrents carved out the scablands, dry ravines etched by water moving at phenomenal velocities, forming waves taller than any skyscraper built today. Simultaneously, global oceans experienced a dramatic spike, rising by over 120 meters. Vast shorelines, fertile river deltas, and populated lowlands were permanently submerged. Millions of square kilometers of potential pre-Younger Dryas settlements now lie buried. Is it accidental that countless ancient tales recount the sinking of cities like Atlantis, Greece, Yaous, France, or Dwaraka, India? The most persuasive detail is that practically every ancient culture preserves narratives of a destructive universal flood. From Mesopotamia, Utnapishtim, to India, Manu, and stretching to the Hopi and Australian Aborigines, stories of near-complete destruction by water are identical. These accounts are not merely folklore. They are indestructible memories, transmitted across epochs, encoding the profound trauma of the Younger Dryas into our shared human consciousness. Entire civilizations perished. The true, alarming mystery is the extent of the knowledge that vanished. Whole libraries of human history might be forever underwater. enigmatic structures, and the mentors of culture. While the globe traversed this dark millennium, surviving human populations struggled. The well-established Clovis society in the Americas abruptly ceased to function. In the Levant, the emergent Natufian farming group was forced to abandon attempts at settled existence, reverting to a nomadic life as their primary food sources froze. Yet, immediately after the climate returned to stability, something entirely unanticipated materialized. The architectural puzzle. The Tepe outlier. Right at the close of the Younger Dryas, around 9600 BC, a startling find in modern Turkey shattered all previous chronological models, the Göbekli Tepe complex. This prehistoric sanctuary features massive stone circles adorned with T-shaped pillars, some standing 4.5 meters high and weighing more than 10 metric tons. These were meticulously extracted, hauled, and erected by simple hunter-gatherers who presumably lacked metal implements, the wheel or beasts of burden. Nonetheless, they successfully engineered the world's oldest known monumental temple, demonstrating an organizational skill and construction finesse not predicted for thousands of years. Göbekli Tepe and its neighbors, Karahan Tepe, Taş Tepeler, suggest a widespread cultural renaissance. Was this simply a spontaneous religious awakening that preceded the domestication of crops? Or, as heterodox researchers suggest, was it a restoration effort, the first attempt by a surviving remnant to re-establish the customs of a lost, complex society? Fascinatingly, around 8000 BC, the complex was deliberately buried, safeguarding its pristine condition. Was this a final sacred rite? Or was it an encoded message for a distant epoch, a sealed vault of learning? The Sphinx, the deluge's eyewitness. The trail of this puzzling pre-cataclysmic period leads southwest to Egypt, to the eternal Great Sphinx of Giza. Conventional dating places its construction under Pharaoh Khafra around 2500 BC. However, in the 1990s, Earth scientist Dr. Robert Schoch and his colleagues observed that the Sphinx enclosure walls showed signs of deep, rounded erosion consistent with long-term, heavy rainfall, not merely desert wind attrition. The crucial element is that Egypt hasn't received such powerful, sustained precipitation since the conclusion of the Ice Age, approximately 10,000 years ago, precisely coinciding with the end of the Younger Dryas. If Schoch's analysis holds, the Sphinx is a survivor artifact from the final Ice Age stage, marked by the storms of a world preceding the pharaohs. Its powerful lion body symbolizes might, while its human visage might represent the memorializing of early, forgotten founders, the original culture tutors. The legend of the wise ones. If high knowledge was erased, how did it re-emerge? Global traditions offer a unified response through civilization tutors. In South America, Andean stories speak of Viracocha, a light-skinned, bearded architect who emerged from Lake Titicaca following the massive flood to instruct the population in astronomy, building, and cultivation. In Mesoamerica, this was Quetzalcoatl, the plumed serpent, who introduced calendars and advanced computation. In Mesopotamia, Oannes, an amphibious entity, arose daily from the Persian Gulf to teach humanity writing and science. Were these divine beings, or were they just human survivors, academics, engineers, or priests who navigated the globe after the flood, desperately attempting to transfer rescued fragments of their sophisticated culture to those struggling to rebuild? Vanished behemoths and celestial schematics. The Younger Dryas was more than a climate glitch. It acted as a severe evolutionary bottleneck. For countless generations, humans coexisted with formidable creatures: mammoths, mastodons, giant ground sloths, and terrifying saber-toothed tigers. These colossal animals abruptly died out within a couple of centuries. This time period aligns perfectly with one of the most drastic extinction events in planetary history. While human hunting may have contributed, the primary driver was undoubtedly ecological collapse. The extreme cold, deluges, and global conflagrations destroyed their food and environment. For our forebears, this meant the collapse of their entire food web. This trauma forced quick modifications to lifestyles, causing many cultural groups to simply disappear. If the pre-cataclysmic culture tutors traveled, their cargo wasn't just tools, it was highly refined cosmological understanding. Unlocking the sky's code. A revisit to Göbekli Tepe reveals deeper layers. The famous Pillar 43, or the Vulture Stone, carries carved symbols that some analysts believe represent an accurate star chart. This pattern, they hypothesize, pinpoints the exact moment of the Younger Dryas impact, serving as a perpetual astronomical reminder of the disaster. It's less a myth and more a cautionary stellar record, etched into enduring rock. Likewise, the Giza pyramids display incredible, precise alignment to the cardinal points, coupled with an orientation that mirrors the Orion's belt stars during a particular epoch. Researchers like Robert Bovell suggest this sky map was calculated and engineered as far back as 10,500 BC, predating the dynastic era. If these monuments were designed during that period, they function as an extensive geoastronomical record, preserving complex data about the cosmos and Earth. The ocean, the planet's ultimate archive. The inherent limitation of conventional archaeology stems from its reliance on accessible surface digs. However, if major populations flourished along fertile coastlines, their remnants are permanently beyond the reach of standard methodology. For instance, submerged artifacts off the coast of Dwarka in the Indian Ocean. Marine scientists have found stone walls and geometric formations that perfectly match local accounts of Krishna's city sinking during a rapid phase of sea level change. Another example is the Yonaguni structure in Japan. Regardless of the ongoing debate over its creation, its sharp corners and immense terraces would have required carving when the feature was above the ocean surface, which places it squarely in the late Ice Age. The ocean, then, serves as the planet's most potent archive. It didn't just consume these worlds, it hermetically sealed them, protecting them from decay, but simultaneously rendered them invisible to our present-day techniques. Our own genetic makeup might quietly reflect this trauma. Studies of ancient DNA reveal substantial human population crashes, coinciding with a major, stressful global event. The Younger Dryas was not merely an interruption, it was a complete system reboot. Advanced groups were forced into desperate reconstruction, utilizing only scattered remnants of prior learning, preserved in legends, constellations, and eternal stone constructions, confronting the data and the enduring conundrum. Consequently, we are left to choose between two fundamentally different accounts of human history. The traditional perspective suggests a slow, continuous progression. Humanity gradually shifts from the Paleolithic, masters agriculture, and then embarks on monumental building. The counter-theory posits a massive cataclysm that obliterated a sophisticated era, leaving behind only fragments of knowledge which the survivors quickly encoded into massive stoneworks. The evidence trail of the mysterious culture tutors leads us to locations of incredible craftsmanship. In Tiahuanaco and Pumapunku, Bolivia, immense blocks are carved with uncanny, near-industrial precision. The joints and angles seem impossible to achieve with the rudimentary tools ascribed to their builders. Similarly, at Sacsayhuaman, Peru, walls of colossal, irregularly shaped stones fit perfectly together without mortar, creating a monumental jigsaw. The The query persists. How did they accomplish this? Further deepening the enigma are continuous underwater finds near Dwaraka and the submerged steps of the Yonaguni Monument, all of which were clearly inundated during the rapid sea level rise after the glacial period. The academic impasse, incrementalism versus global disruption. The entire history surrounding the Younger Dryas presents a direct conflict of scientific views. Mainstream archaeology demands tangible proof. If an advanced society existed, where are its gadgets, metalwork, and urban centers? Catastrophe theorists counter. The physical proofs lie under 120 meters of ocean and millennia of sediment. They constantly highlight unexplained contradictions. Geology. Rain damage on the Sphinx enclosure walls. Impact traces. The black matte layer, featuring nanodiamonds, confirming the Younger Dryas was a planetary-scale disaster. Construction. The staggering scale and complicated stonework of Göbekli Tepe and Puma Punku, which appeared seemingly out of nowhere. Shared mythology. The worldwide consistency of flood accounts, functioning as an ancient coded report of a global calamity. The Younger Dryas was a watershed moment that wiped out prior history and compelled humanity to initiate a new beginning. If no major disaster struck, why did the established trend toward permanent settlement suddenly cease? And if early humans were genuinely primitive, why did they immediately begin erecting colossal temples once the disturbance subsided? Our modern reality is literally founded upon the silt and ash left by the Ice Age's conclusion. If the flood truly reshaped the world 12,000 years ago, countless cultures were swept away. Yet those who remained persevered. They rebuilt, they memorialized, and they transmitted warnings using the most durable medium available: narrative. These records continue to resonate across all lands and time. Whether interpreted as symbolic tales or factual chronicles, they stand as our most ancient heritage. The central dilemma remains unresolved. Was the Younger Dryas simply a chaotic natural event, or the authentic source of humanity's deepest held memory of the flood? Did it eradicate complex societies we have yet to confirm? Or was it the singular event that forced a universal hard reset, establishing the groundwork for the civilization we occupy today? I present this deep question for your consideration. Share your best theories in the comments below.